Hey everybody, welcome to this video. This video is for people who are really committed to wanting to change their life. I'm Iris Sirianni. I am a self-love coach and a spiritual mentor, and I help people transform themselves and their life. So most people, when they think of wanting to change their life, they look at changing something externally first, like quitting a job or moving across the country or they end a relationship. They want to change something externally so that a shift occurs. But there's a problem with this, and that is there is a saying, and the saying is, wherever you go, there you are, which basically means that even if you do change something externally to you and you do move or you do quit or you do leave, it means that wherever you're going to go to, who you are being is coming along with you. And we can never escape ourselves, and quite often that's what we try to do. We try to escape who we are, thinking that an external circumstance is going to change what's going on in our life. And maybe you've noticed this for yourself too, that when you do make an external change, nothing within you feels any different. And that's because how we do life, how you do life, is familiar to you. And what I mean by this is that our internal state of being is referred to a set point. Everybody has a set point. And really what a set point is something that has become familiar to you. And familiarity can look different for a lot of different people. Some people are familiar with not having a lot of money. Some people are familiar with love and abundance in their life. Some are familiar with toxicity and unhealthy relationships and being taken advantage of. We all have that set point, or what is familiar to us, that travels with us in everything that we do. So if you think about air conditioning, that's probably the easiest example. So when things start to heat up for us in the form of things are going good and we're having these new life experiences, or maybe we have all this money and things are looking really good for us, we subconsciously sabotage ourselves because what that new experience is unfamiliar to us. And what happens then is our AC kicks in and we gotta bring it back down to our own internal comfort level. So we're back to what is familiar. We're back to what is comfortable. So can you relate to this in some way? Sometimes we can change the external circumstances, and sometimes we have a modicum of success in the external change. But who we are and what our belief systems are hasn't changed. And that's why it is so difficult to hang on to the success and the newness that we're experiencing. And eventually we come back down to our set point. Everything that we do in life begins with us. Everything. Who we are being, what we believe about ourselves, the thoughts we think, the things that we do, it is all a reflection of who we are and what we believe to be true about ourselves. So what's required then to be able to shift to a new timeline, timeline shifting might be a new concept for you, but basically you're traveling on one path right now. What you want to be doing is shifting to another timeline, right? So in order to do that, you need to consciously focus on the new path and the new thoughts that you want to think, and also what it is that you want to create for yourself and your life. What do you want to have in your life? What life experiences do you really want to have? Because you know that you don't want what you've got going down this path, right? So it's about shifting over to this new path and focusing your attention on where it is you do want to go. And I will say that this takes focus. And a lot of people lose focus and they allow themselves to go back down to what is familiar. So, what is familiar to you? Let me know in the comments below. Familiar could be chaos. A lot of people are really, really familiar with living in a chaotic environment. And when good things show up in their life, they create chaos to sabotage it. A lot of people are wanting to manifest more money in their life, and maybe it shows up for them periodically. But then what's familiar to them is to not have enough money. Other people are familiar with not trusting other people, and they're familiar with that feeling of being abandoned or feeling lonely and really isolated. So when somebody does come along, what's familiar to them is to not trust that person and to push good people away. So what is familiar to you? Leave a comment below. Let me know what is familiar to you. Okay, so back to this new timeline that you want to be on. The way to shift into that new timeline is, first of all, is being very committed and very focused on being on this new path. And when we first start out on our new path, it's going to feel very uncomfortable because we're learning a new way of being. So what you do when you are focused in that direction is notice what thoughts you're having, and then replace those new thoughts with something else. You can say something like, no thank you, to that thought. I am focused on a new path. When you feel triggered and when you feel yourself backsliding into old habits and patterns, you can say, no thank you, I am focused on a new path. I will say that this requires your attention. There's a saying that where your attention goes, the energy flows. And what I'd like you to begin thinking about is where you're focusing your attention. Now, that doesn't mean bypass anything that's coming up. You do want to look at and acknowledge why you have the belief systems you do, and then train yourself to create a new belief. Heal the old beliefs of worthiness and unlovability and that sense of you don't belong anywhere. Whatever comes up for you, allow yourself to heal from that, but keep focusing on your new path. The work starts on the inside. The work begins in healing your heart and healing the past, but keeping your attention flowing in the direction of where you do want to go. And you will start to move in that new direction. And what happens then, when you're far enough along this path, you will begin to see your old path moving farther and farther away from you. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next video, take good care.